Man, it is hard to believe that we're already in our final season in 2023 season of fun. This year's kind of flown by, hasn't it? So I figure today, what better time than now to talk about Knott's final season in 2023, Knott's Merry Farm. For those that don't know, Knott's Merry Farm is Knott's Berry Farm's Christmas celebration that they are going to hold this year from November 17th to January 7th. So that's around 7 weeks, six to 7 weeks of holiday enjoyment. Knott's goes all out with their Christmas decor, with lights all over the place. As you saw on Thursday when I did my walk around, there's wreaths and garland everywhere. They open up the Gold Mine Trail next to Ghost Rider for more holiday treats and enjoyment there. We'll get into that later. But Knott's is, in my opinion, as far as amusement parks goes, Knott's is the embodiment of the holiday season. So let's go through their schedule this year and you'll learn why. First, of course, everybody's curious about the shows. Looks like all the shows are returning in all of the usual spots. Once again, coming back to the Walter Knott Theater, Snoopy's on Ice. This year, Snoopy's Night Before Christmas. I believe it's the same thing that they did last year, which is a retelling of the poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, reimagined Peanut style, celebrating over 4 decades of Snoopy on Ice for the holiday season. It's so weird to hear over 4 decades of Snoopy on Ice, because when you think about it, Snoopy on Ice was kind of the reason that the Knott family was able to land the Peanuts gang IP in the first place. I think the long short of it is Marion went out to Santa Rosa or Santa Clarita or something to visit Charles Schultz while he was at his daughter's ice skating practice. And basically what happened, as he said, is you can have this property as long as we do an ice show. They used the Walter Knott Theater as a selling point, saying that we can house these big productions there. And he said, you can have it if my daughter can be Snoopy. And thus, Jill Schultz was Snoopy for the first long while of the Snoopy on Ice show. Kind of a cool little tidbit. We'll move past that. At the Birdcage Theater, a couple different shows. It looks like they're bringing back The Gift of the Magi, 1885, which I believe is what they were running in that house last year. But they're also bringing in something new this year, which is a Calico Christmas Carol. The Calico Mine Stage, bringing back Home for the Holidays. This is kind of a sing and dance musical that they do where it's a big production of a bunch of classic music carols. Like they do Sleigh Ride, Home for the Holidays, Jingle Bells, that sort of thing. Last year, I believe it was an a cappella group that did it. I think the a cappella group this year is going to be in Calico Park stage. Yeah, so the sleigh bells will be in Calico Park, so they'll have the sleigh bells doing their a cappella shows there across the street from the train station. And then, of course, everybody's favorite is the Snow and Glow, which is when the streets of Ghost Town get covered in snow and serenaded with the Christmas spirit. This is by far my favorite part of Knott's Merry Farm. From the first time I went and I saw the look in my kids' eyes as they're watching snowfall in Southern California, even though obviously it's from snow machines and it's essentially just bubbles. That's a magical feeling. And from that point on, I appreciated Knott so much. I know that Main Street does this at Disneyland as well. The last couple times I went, it was a little bit different of an experience, mainly because those streets are so big and so much more crowded that it kind of takes away from the magic these days. I'm not going to bash on Disneyland. Disneyland has its own charms. But Knott's, I think because Knott's brings the traditional and, need I say, religious aspects of what Christmas is about, and you feel that in the narrative throughout the entire event. Along with Merry Farm's shows, they've got a bunch of additional things that you can do around the park. In their crafts and activities page, you can see the big one, which again I mentioned in my vlog that I dropped on Thursday, is the Christmas Crafts Village, which essentially is the streets of Ghost Town lined with artisan and private vendors selling their goods and services. A lot of these are very charming, very cool, very unique products that you're able to buy, and it's nice that you help out these independent sellers. Combined with the Christmas lights and the music playing throughout Ghost Town, this is the coolest holiday bazaar you'll visit. If you look around before you enter the Wilderness Dance Hall, you will also find Mrs. Claus's Kitchen, which is basically a building that's out of commission the rest of the year. But Mrs. Claus opens it every year because she needs help making her holiday treats while she's off organizing the schedule with the elves and the toy delivery for all the boys and the girls. So inside the little house, you can purchase these kits to build your own holiday cookies and stuff, and design your own cookies and make your own holiday desserts and stuff like that. It's a fun thing for the kids. They enjoy it. And then, of course, you want to head over to, as I say, the Red Barn, which is the Wilderness Dance Hall, and visit the big man himself. Santa Claus is in Santa Claus' Christmas cabin. In there, there's actually an abundance of the holiday offerings that they have as well for food and drink, hot chocolate. They had last year bread pudding, different cookies. The Brussels sprouts were in there. The smell in that cabin is unmatched to any other area in any other theme park. In a good way. In a good way. I don't want to get started on some smells that I've come across at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Different story. But then, of course, the piece de resistance of Knott's Merry Farm.
The food.
There are a bunch of places that are open for food throughout Merry Farm this year. The usual suspects, of course. The Ghost Town Bakery, where they have the pumpkin spice cake, gingerbread cookies, Christmas tree cupcakes, dirty chai petite cake with coffee ganache filling, and pumpkin cold foam whipped cream. If you're still hungry, there's a lot more there. As I mentioned before, the Gold Mine Trail is also open. They're serving more of a hearty variety of foods there. They've got chili cheese dogs, pretzels, cinnamon sugar churros, and then that gotta have it turkey ball on a dollop of mashed potatoes. Also, to be expected, the Grizzly Creek Lodge will be supplying some delicious holiday foods. They, of course, are going to be offering that naughty and nice beef burger with the sweet and spicy pineapple slaw, candy cane brownies, and some pumpkin spice cupcakes. Delicious. Prop Shop Pizzeria getting in on this action, offering things like Santa's pulled pork and onion pizza, Rudolph's chicken artichoke and spinach dip pizza, the burrata salad. And they're also doing the spice cake, the minty cookies, and the holiday bliss bars, whatever those are. And then, of course, in Santa's cabin, like I was saying earlier, they're serving up they have the Indian fry bread, Brussels sprouts with the cranberries, the eggnog bread pudding and whiskey caramel sauce. And they're also doing a couple Christmas cocktails for the adult in you. There's also a couple things that you can get around the park in specific spots, such as the garlic truffle mayo and mushroom burger. I believe that'll be at Coasters this year. That's my assumption. Seasonal tamale fries. Say that 10 times fast. The Christmas Caesar salad, hot dog, and the vegan dog, and the French onion beef tip tater tots. They've also got a ton of desserts that they're going to be putting out as well. They have this year. It's a candy cane churro, I think, that looks like it's probably going to make me pass out from an instant diabetic coma. I may end up trying it anyway, just because I live Moss. This year, Knott's is doing a special on tickets where if you buy 4, you can get them for $40 a piece, as opposed to $60 a piece, which I think is a pretty good deal, considering you get access to the park the entire day, as well as Knott's is doing other things like the lighting of the Christmas tree and all of those kind of special activities that they'll do throughout the day. And, of course, the greatest gift of all Knott's could ever give us, the reopening of Accelerator. So there you have it. I look forward to it. I hope you do too, and I hope to see you all there one of these days, November 17th to January 7th. Let's go to Knott's and have a very Merry Christmas.